Welcome you to the House of Ebon, where all your dreams come true. Today, you guys, I wanted to do a movie review for the movie called The Invisible Man. If you're new to this channel, thank you for coming. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like this video. If you're returning, thank you for coming back. And now let's get into the video. So the movie opens up with a night scene. The waves are crashing, and we are first shown the main character waking up beside her husband. She's very sneaky, trying to get out the bed. When she gets out of the bed, she heads over to his side of the bed, her husband. He has a cup with water in it, and she shakes it, and there's like particles in it, and she has pills, I think, right next to the cup, I believe. She drugged him basically for him to stay asleep while she concocted her plan. So she went to the closet, got some clothes, boom bam, started to head out of the bedroom towards the hallway. When she got towards the hallway, end of the hallway, she started putting her clothes on. In my head, I'm like, what sense does it make if you're trying to get away from this man as quick as possible? Just put your clothes on in the car. She goes downstairs and she goes to, I guess, this man's office. From what we could tell from the scene, he's very wealthy. Later on in the movie, we found out he's a I cannot even get the word out. Biooptic engineer, dealing with the eyes, vision. That's all you need to know, pretty much. She goes there, she does something, I can't remember. She put some code in to get something. Maybe it was some money or something. I don't know. I know she went down there to get something. But then she turns around and there's this big like glass case where you could tell it's like a bodysuit is supposed to be. But she makes this face as if something, even though it was supposed to be, or she feel like somebody watching her. That's your first sign right there that something ain't right. Okay. Anyway, she's headed to the garage. She's out. But then she bumps against something in the hallway on her way out, I think. And it makes noise. She gets scared. He doesn't wake up. The husband doesn't wake up. But then when she gets to the garage to head out, to finally leave, the dog comes and she tries, I guess she wants the dog to come with her. So she tries to take the collar off because he has a collar on, and I guess if he reaches a certain area in the yard, like the beeper will go off on the collar. So she tries to take it off. She's fumbling around with it, and the dog bumps the car. The car starts going off, and she books it, and she heads right for the fence. Mind you, this fence, it goes all the way across the yard. She throws her bag over. She climbs the fence, and then she heads through the woods to a street. And we see a car coming, and it's her sister. So her sister comes and picks her up. She's confused as to, why are you calling me? What's the problem? What's up? And so she was like, just drive. I'll tell you later. Drive. Alright, as her sister was like taking it all in, the dude, the husband, comes up, run, boom bam, hits the window, tries to get in, yelling at the wife. The wife screaming to her sister, drive. Sister scared, puts the car in drive, bumps it. Okay, and so now we fast forward. Cecilia is now put in a house with, I guess, a family friend who's a cop, and the actor that plays that character is Aldis. Is that his name? Aldis Hodge. He was in the movie Hidden Figures. He was in the TV show Underground, and he is now in this movie. But he has a daughter. She's a teen. So he's a single parent. She moves in with him. She doesn't want anybody to know where she's at. And so she is fearful that somebody might find her. She's anxious. She's kind of depressed. She's just, emotions are all over the place. So as days go on and as the movie goes on, she starts to feel like somebody's there, but nobody believes her. Like, for instance, when she's getting more comfortable as the days go by, she's cooking breakfast for the daughter. What do you want? Anyway, so she's cooking breakfast for the daughter, while the dad, Aldous character, is at work. He's a police officer, like I said. So he has weird hours throughout the movie. He's not really home. So for this one instance, she's cooking breakfast for the daughter, and she walks away to go wake the daughter up for getting ready for school. She was cutting, I think, some onions up, if I remember correctly, and she left the knife on the counter, but as soon as she walked away, the knife slid off, like somebody pulled it off. And then she was cooking something also on the stove, I think some bacon or eggs. I think it was bacon. And the fire, you could see the fire got turned up. One thing right there, boom, somebody's there. Stuff like that don't just happen. You come to find out, Adrian got killed, or so we thought. And so she's given all of his money that was in his will, which was $5 million, and Cecilia will get $100,000 every month for the rest of her life, I guess, until she reached $5 million. Thing was that she could not get any criminal charges against her, so she couldn't be sent to prison or jail for anything. If she was, she would lose all that money. So she accepted the money. Something happened where her sister received an email that was saying all these bad things about her, and so Cecilia's sister didn't like it, and she was like, I'm glad that you got that all off your chest. Cecilia is confused. She doesn't know what's going on, and the sister doesn't want to believe her that somebody that you can't see is haunting her, is trying to make all her relationships end. And so her sister doesn't want anything to do with her, and Cecilia gets tired of feeling like somebody's always behind her, watching her, messing with her, trying to end her relationships with all the people that are left in her life. She asks her sister to come meet her at this restaurant in public, and so the sister agrees to meet her. It starts off awkward, their conversation, because they really don't say anything. It's just, you can tell it's tension, it's awkwardness, but then they start talking and laughing about something. And the waiter, this waiter that they have, and he's very pushy. It's like, do you need anything? We have water, we have this. Do you need anything else? Okay. It's like, did they really mean to have him act like that in a movie? It was kind of cheesy, to say the least. But anyway, and so they're talking. The sister, Cecilia, wants her sister to believe her. Whatever she says, she wants her to believe her, right? Cecilia is gearing up to tell her somebody is always around me, but you can't see them, blah, 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 right? As soon as she starts to get all of that information out, and her sister leans in, and is kind of, you can see she's starting to somewhat believe her. She looks, and we're looking at the sister from the camera pan, and so the camera is on looking at the sister, and so her eyes widen like, what is that? And then we turn to Cecilia, and to the right of Cecilia there's a butcher knife, and the butcher knife just swings, comes in, boom, slices the sister's throat, blood everywhere, and the camera quick pans back to the knife coming back into Cecilia's hand. My question here, how did the knife end up in Cecilia's hand if Cecilia knows that somebody's there but you can't see them? Why did her hand just automatically come up and like this? That makes no sense. So you feel somebody grab your hand and open your hand? How is that even possible? Everybody in the restaurant sees it. They start screaming. She gets arrested. She is sent to the crazy house because she's saying, oh my God, he's right there. I know you see him. I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna kill you, blah, blah, blah. She's put in the crazy house. Before she even met up with her sister, there was one moment where she was at the house and she wanted to find the dude. Like, she was fed up. She was tired. So she got some coffee. I think it was coffee at first, and put it all over the floor in her bedroom to see if he would step on it anyway. And so she goes, after doing that, it's like she went to sleep for a little bit, or just zoned out completely. And then she went to the kitchen. While she was doing that, I'm thinking like, so you staying with somebody else? You ain't gonna clean that up? No, you gonna leave it? Okay. She called her dead husband's phone, and it rung, and she heard a phone upstairs in the attic. So she went up in the attic, found the phone, found the butcher knife that killed her sister. She felt like somebody was still there around her because she heard a noise downstairs. And so she went slowly to the attic opening where the ladder was. She felt like somebody was like right there in her face on the ladder, but there was nothing there that we could see. And so there was paint next to her because they were painting the house, still getting the house together. And she took it and poured it, and it was a man's like figure. And he jumped down, the ladder fell, paint went everywhere. And I'm thinking, first it's coffee greens in the bedroom on the floor still, and now you got paint everywhere. And she jumps down and starts to fight the guy or whoever it is, and she runs out the house with the door wide open. So you just gonna leave this dude's house without closing the door? You could at least close the door while you run away, right? After her leaving the dude's house running away because she's super scared, she's caught on camera running away from nothing, apparently. And then she's sent to the crazy house, okay? Then she's sent to the crazy house. While she's at the crazy house, the dude ends up there messing with her. Come to find out, Adrian, the husband, his brother, was not the beneficiary of the will, but the person that I guess he was a lawyer and he oversaw his brother's will. And since she's in the crazy house, she lost the $5 million. But he comes out his mouth and say, yes, Adrian is not dead. We created this scheme. You'll never get away from us. But if you have the baby, yep, she was pregnant. And I'm not really sure how she was pregnant because he said she was 4 months long. From what the doctor told her previously in the movie before she even killed her sister. And she was saying like, that's not true, I didn't sleep with Adrian, blah blah blah. So I'm not really sure what happened. I hope he didn't rape her. I'm not really sure how that could have happened if you don't feel it. I don't know. Anyway, but the brother says Adrian's not dead, blah blah blah. If you sign this and come back, we'll drop the charge. Well, they can't drop the charges. He said if you sign, it was some paper that he wanted her to sign for her, like, say that none of this happened, whatever, for her to come back and not get rid of the baby. And so she said forget it. And later that night, after that whole announcement of information to Cecilia, she took a pen from his briefcase without him knowing. Later that night, she stood in her shower. The invisible man was there and she was fighting him and she was making a bunch of noise. And so the security guard came in. It was like, ma'am, get in your bed, be quiet. And she was saying, oh my God, he's right there. Because she had stabbed him with the pen, which malfunctioned the invisible suit. And so it was glitching and you could see him and then you couldn't see him and then you could see him, then you couldn't see him. The security guard saw the suit, the person, for a moment. And when I tell you, this is the third moment in the movie where I was like, this makes no sense. He took his taser, like he was fumbling and then he got it. When I tell you, this is the slowest movement I've seen anybody do to save their life. He took it like this. I got this pen. This is my taser. He took it and he's like, like, how? You are about to die, and that's how slow you move to tase somebody? That make irritating. He actually gets, like, I think slung the security guard into a wall. She runs out the door. She runs into more security guards, and she's telling them, oh my God, he's right there behind you. He's right there behind you. They get beat up and slung some more. More security officers come. They got their guns out. One of them gets shot in the leg. I think another one gets shot in the head. Some more people get slung. It's about 7 people that got beat up. And my thing is, how strong is a person? Does an invisible suit make you strong? They're running back to the police officers, the friend's house. The invisible man starts beating on the daughter of the police officer, choking her. The dad comes because Cecilia called him to told him to get your butt home to your daughter, save her. So he gets home, he gets beat up pretty badly. Cecilia finally makes it there and she shoots him twice, kills him on impact. Period. Over. Finish. KO. Okay? And so then she takes the mask off. Guess who it was? It wasn't Adrian, the husband. It was his brother, the lawyer. For what reason? I don't know why he was the one. They don't really explain why the brother was the one behind doing this. After she reveals who it was behind the mask, they pan to police officers storming a house or a basement and finding Adrian not dead. So at this point, I'm really confused because they don't explain why the brother was behind this. They don't explain how they found Adrian tied up in a basement. How did his death lead to you finding his brother alive? I'm not really sure. They don't explain that. But the charges were dropped against well, they weren't really dropped. They just released her. The movie ends with her calling Adrian, wanting to talk to him, and they have dinner. She's crying, boo-hoo. She wants to go to the washroom to clean herself up. And he's looking at his dinner plate, and he looks to his right. And as soon as he looks to his right, his hand goes up, slices his own throat. It was Cecilia. Cecilia killed her husband. She was the invisible man now. Because in the beginning of the movie, once she ran away from the police officer's house with the door still open, she got an Uber and went back to Adrian's house. And she found a suit. She hid it. That's right, she hid it. She was able to be invisible at the end of the movie because she went back and got the suit that she hid. And I'm not really sure if Adrian was the person behind all of this or if it was really his brother. We'll never know because Adrian is dead. Alright, you guys, that was that movie. It's a pretty okay movie. I would say go watch it. You have nothing else to do at this point. So go watch it. It's about an hour long. If you guys like this review, make sure you like and subscribe for my newcomers. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.